Die Berliner Mauer, das Denkmal der deutschen Teilung. Fast 30 Jahre trennte sie Ost- und West-Berlin und nahezu 100 Menschen starben bei dem Versuch, über den Todesstreifen in den Westteil der Stadt zu gelangen. Heute, rund 20 Jahre nach ihrem Fall, stehen noch wenige Fragmente des symbolträchtigen Bauwerks. Begeben wir uns auf die Spurensuche und beginnen im Süden Berlins. Die Eastside Gallery. Die südliche Route ist mit über 1000 Metern Länge nicht nur der größte zusammenhängende Mauerrest in Berlin, sondern auch die längste Open-Air-Galerie der Welt. Hier in der Mühlenstraße verzierten internationale Künstler die Mauer mit Bildern und schufen so eine berühmte Touristenattraktion. Die Reise entlang der ehemaligen Mauer führt uns weiter Richtung Berliner Innenstadt. Der Leipziger Platz. Früher direkt auf der Grenze gelegen, entstanden hier nach Mauerfall moderne Neubauten, die eine Grünfläche mit Mauerresten einrahmen. Der ehemalige Verlauf der Mauer ist symbolisch angedeutet durch eine Linie aus Pflastersteinen, die den Platz durchschneidet. Einzelne Mauerteile stehen in Kontrast zu der modernen Architektur des 21. Jahrhunderts. Vergangenheit trifft auf Moderne. Auch der benachbarte Potsdamer Platz, die ehemals größte Baustelle Europas, liegt auf unserer Route. Besucher, die mehr über den Verlauf der ehemaligen Grenze wissen möchten, können sich hier an Gedenktafeln informieren. In der nicht weit entfernten Erna-Berger-Straße liegt im Schatten der Hochhäuser einer der ehemaligen Grenzwachttürme. Nach der Wiedervereinigung wurde er um wenige Meter versetzt. Für Touristen ist er heute ein beliebtes Fotomotiv. Vom schwebenden Ballon am Potsdamer Platz kann man hinüberblicken zu einem der wohl bekanntesten Grenzübergänge der Welt, dem Checkpoint Charlie. Der Kontrollpunkt war einst Schauplatz der Konfrontation von amerikanischen und sowjetischen Panzern. Im Jahr 2000 wurde der originalgetreue Nachbau der Baracke enthüllt und erfreut sich seitdem großer Beliebtheit, nicht nur bei Amerikanern. Auch das Wahrzeichen der Stadt liegt auf unserer Tour. Das Brandenburger Tor gehörte während der Teilung zum östlichen Teil der Stadt und lag nur wenige Meter von der Grenze entfernt im Sperrgebiet. Vor der Wende galt es als Symbol für die Teilung. Nach Ende des Kalten Krieges ist es das Sinnbild für die Wiedervereinigung von Deutschland und Europa. Eine Doppelsteinreihe markiert den Verlauf der Mauer vor dem Brandenburger Tor auf dem Platz des 18. März. Über die Mauer informieren auch Infostelen am Brandenburger Tor und an weiteren wichtigen Standorten mit Karten, Grafiken, Text und Fotos in einem Informationsfenster.
Schwierig, aber Tiergarten im Frühling ist sehr schön mit Fahrrad.
Mein Lieblingsplatz ist Olympiastadion. Ich habe schon immer gesagt, wenn das möglich wäre, ich würde das so rausnehmen und zu meiner Stadt nach Ungarn nehmen, zum Pech, und dann wäre ich ganz glücklich.
Eine Busfahrt, das euch zeigt ein bisschen die Geschichte von Berlin.
La Cantina und Die Türkei von Europacenter, die beiden.
Weil diese Saison haben wir jedes Spiel gekämpft, die Mannschaft ist viel gelaufen und waren am meisten Sieger am Ende.
Brandenburg Gate, right in the middle of the city at Pariser Platz. A key location in Berlin's history, and most recently, during the fall of the Berlin Wall. Today, this classicist building is recognized the world over as a symbol of German reunification and of a free, united Europe. To the west, the green soul of the city, the Tiergarten, the largest and most frequented city park in Berlin. Right at the heart of the Tiergarten, the majestic Siegessäule, the Victory Column, up above a bronze statue depicting the Greek goddess Victoria. And a viewing platform with a stunning view of the city.
Ways lead into Berlin's district of Prenzlauer Berg. Located almost in the heart of the capital, it is nowadays a part of the greater borough of Pankow, which also includes the quarters of Alt-Pankow and Weißensee. Stretching roughly over 4 square miles, Prenzlauer Berg is actually one of the smallest parts of the city. A real mountain, as the name suggests, is hardly to be found. Less than 55 yards measures the district's only mentionable hill. Above all, Prenzlauer Berg is a residential area. In fact, it has the highest population density of all Berlin and is easily accessible by public transportation. Prenzlauer Berg has always attracted a lot of young people. Students, artists and intellectuals have been drawn into this hip district, which consists of many facets and has a lot to offer for all different kind of folk. The prominent Max Schmeling Coliseum hosts numerous cultural and sports events throughout the year. A mixture of theaters and concert halls represent the district's cultural variety. One of the quarter's landmarks is the historic water tower, which was constructed in 1875. Today, the 2 former water tanks are used for artistic displays during the summer month. Small galleries can be discovered in many hidden corners. Art and culture are present everywhere in Prenzlauer Berg. Sometimes the district's full magnificence comes alive only at night. Another well-known institution is Konopke, Berlin's oldest snack bar, serving the city's famous currywurst. Of course, the variety of culinary delights is enormous and international. Restaurants serving Russian, East Asian, Italian or African cuisine are available, including fancy restaurants to suit a high society clientele. The selection of hotels and hostels is as versatile. Whether you are a backpacking tourist or a guest at a luxurious hotel, you will rest assured to have found a domicile in a very central location. The district's typical Gründerzeit buildings date back to the 19th century. Although almost undamaged during the Second World War, entire blocks were completely neglected in the years of the GDR. After the German reunification in 1990, Prenzlauer Berg became Europe's largest formally designated redevelopment area. Today, most of the old houses have been reconstructed. The Great Zeiss Planetarium. Generations of Berliners have learned about the endless space in here. In the north of the district, the Bruno Taut residential estate was constructed in 1930. The historic architectural landmarks date back to the age of industrialization. They have become biotopes for new life. A Kulturbrauerei has been established on the premises of the former Schultheiss brewery. Breweries used to be among the most important employers in this part of Berlin. Dwelling houses with numerous backyards were built to provide lodgings for the growing workforce. At a later age, these dark and hidden converted moos served as perfect hideouts for artists and people with alternative lifestyles. During the last years of the East German regime, churches often served as a sanctuary for peace and ecological activists, as well as critics of the political elite. Above all, the Gethsemane Church became a symbol for change during the peaceful revolution of 1989. Around the corner from the water tower remains Berlin's largest restored synagogue, the Peace Temple. On the other side of the same block, on the Kollwitz Square, opens the so-called Jews Alley. According to legend, mourners were forced by royal decree to only use this way during funerals in former centuries. On the other side of the wall lies the old Jewish cemetery on Schönhauser Allee. Resting in the shadow of the high trees are many famous former members of the Jewish community, like Max Liebermann. The Kollwitz Square is blooming nowadays. It is a paradise for young parents and especially for their children. At the Machmet Museum, the kids can actively learn and research, practicing and trying out new things. Shopping fans often go on a spending fee. The small streets host many miraculous stores. Kitsch, some useless or needful things are to be found only in this quarter. Where the Berlin Wall once separated the districts of Wedding and Prenzlauer Berg, the Mauerpark was created. Today, this park is one of the most important recreation areas in the entire borough. The Prater, a traditional beer garden and the ideal starting point into the district's zestful nightlife. Around the block at the Kulturbrauerei, the local salsa scene has its bases. Many steaming parties at the countless clubs continue all the way through the night. After all, Berlin has no curfew or closing hour.
I'm Greg from Dallas, Texas. Just moved to Flagstaff. I'm here at the beautiful Grand Canyon, and I'm sure there's beautiful things like this in Berlin. I'd love to see it one day. Berlin, Berlin, we are fahren nach Berlin.
Weimar. Few other cities symbolize the history of Germany as much as this one. It's where Goethe and Schiller lived and worked. 90 years ago, it gave its name to the first German experiment in democracy, one that failed. The Nazi regime that followed the Weimar Republic brought catastrophe to Germany and Europe.
Die Weimarer Demokratie mahnt uns.
The Weimar democracy still serves as a reminder to us all that freedom, peace and democracy cannot be taken for granted. It is something that you must fight for, something that people must work for.
A new constitution was drafted 90 years ago at the National Theatre here in Weimar. Today's guests understand that the Constitution meant more than just the end of the imperial era.
For
Germans, Weimar signified Germany's entry into the community of democratic nations and a step into cultural modernity.
In February 1919, the first democratically elected Constituent Assembly met here, and for the first time, there were women among the representatives. The new rules allowed women to vote and stand for office. The Weimar Constitution also enshrined other rights, such as freedom of expression and freedom of assembly. An exhibition at the Weimar City Museum underscores what it accomplished. Those freedoms didn't last long, though. Extremists on the left and right exploited those freedoms to destroy the very democracy that had brought them. In 1933, the National Socialists put the final nail in the Constitution's coffin, and Germany would not see a stable democracy for another 16 years. Today, the German Basic Law underpins the country's democratic system and is designed so it doesn't meet the same fate of Weimar. Article 1. Human dignity shall be inviolable. He was there 60 years ago, as the text's wording was hammered out and the document came into force in May 1949. Radio journalist Otto Schumacher-Helmold reported on site from Bonn's König Museum. Mounted hunting trophies served as a backdrop for the Parliamentary Council meeting. Post-war improvisation came easy to the councillors.
It was an uplifting experience to see those who had clearly stood against the Nazi regime, to be there, designing a new beginning.
The council understood that its new creation would serve, perhaps only temporarily, as Germany's basic law until the divided nation could be reunified. But it did more than that. It became the foundation for German integration into Europe. The signing of the Élysée Treaty heralded a period of post-war reconciliation and closer cooperation between Germany and France. The policy of Ostpolitik under Chancellor Willy Brandt led to further reconciliation, this time in Eastern Europe. Gestures such as Brandt's kneeling in humility at a memorial for Nazi victims in Warsaw in 1970 and the signing of the Moscow Treaty helped normalize Germany's relations with Eastern Europeans. In 1975, Warsaw Pact countries pledged in the Helsinki Accords to respect human rights. Dissidents in Eastern Europe demanded their rights based on that agreement. Ultimately, the Eastern Bloc collapsed. Since the collapse of communism, most European countries, including Germany, have developed ever closer working relationships. The Treaty of Lisbon is an important stage on the road to European integration. Once all European Union members have ratified the treaty, the EU will have a new foundation and be able to work more democratically and more efficiently. The German Parliament has already ratified the Reform Treaty. It underscores Germany's commitment to Europe, which started with the Basic Law. On November the 9th, 1989, Berliners climbed atop the wall that had separated so many friends and relatives and confined its own people. The Berlin Wall had fallen. In the months leading up to that night, the situation in East Germany grew tenser. Falsified results in local elections in the spring of that year, ordered by the Politburo under Erich Honecker, was too much for many East Germans. Many took to the streets in protest, and they demanded the freedom to travel to the West. East German secret police tried to suppress the demonstrations. East Berlin, too, saw a nervous response from an increasingly fearful regime. As large numbers of East Germans applied for permission to emigrate, thousands more tried to flee the country illegally, often via West German embassies, such as those in former Czechoslovakia and Poland. After being evacuated, many set foot on West German soil for the first time just over the border. The regime began to crack. On the 9th of November, Politburo member Günter Schabowski announced new rules for travel abroad.
Thus, we've decided to institute a new rule that will allow every citizen of East Germany to travel across East German borders.
Über Grenzübergangspunkte der DDR auszureisen.
The news spread like wildfire, and there was no stopping the flood.
My mother and father are over there. Can I really go over there?
Go ahead.
It wasn't long before people were voting with their feet. And West Berlin was just as surprised. Here, Mayor Walter Momper and former Chancellor Willy Brandt approached the Brandenburg Gate, a true symbol of Germany's division. Now, what belongs together is growing together. This famous Willy Brandt quote on the fall of the Berlin Wall echoed the sentiments of many and encapsulated the daunting task which lay before Germany in the years to come. An exhibition at Germany's Foreign Ministry documents the dramatic turn of events during that crucial period. Reduced onto 20 posters, it draws from the latest research on the subject.
We have a much better idea and more detailed knowledge now of what really happened than we had in '89 and '90. We've had 20 years to think about it.
Like other members of the opposition, Eppelmann was regarded as an enemy of the communist state. Since the collapse of East Germany, he's committed to trying to understand the past. He's particularly pleased that the exhibition was so well received. Posters advertising the show have been put up in many German cities and abroad. The fall of the wall is an exciting part of history that is still fascinating. In the months following the 9th of November, the West German government negotiated German reunification. After meetings among Chancellor Helmut Kohl, Foreign Minister Hans-Dietrich Genscher, representatives of the four Allied powers and East Germany, consensus was finally reached in September 1990. Germany was reunified, and October the 3rd is now a German national holiday. The wall divided Berlin for nearly 30 years. It was nearly impossible to breach it, and although the total number of those who died trying may never be known, 136 deaths have been documented so far. It's become a tourist attraction and a symbol of what was once a world divided into two blocks. If you're looking for the wall today, you won't find much of it. There's a longer segment still standing at the East Side Gallery, but not much elsewhere. Many visitors to Berlin treat themselves to a bicycle tour along the 165 kilometers that make up the former route of the wall around West Berlin, to include the jagged strip that runs right through the middle of the city. At the Mauer Park in Berlin's Prenzlauer Berg district, land that once hosted the infamous Death Strip is now a popular venue for picnics and strolls.
There was never this vegetation, you see. There was nothing like these plants or grass. It was all wrecked out every day. They wrecked it out to ensure that once somebody set foot in the Death Strip, they leave their footprint.
Those who want to know more can visit the National Memorial on Bernauer Straße. For those interested in the wall, this is definitely the place to see.
Bernauer Straße had the highest density of incidents. This is where most of the people died trying to escape. The pictures show what it was like. Much of the wall was retained here to include a completely maintained death strip.
Looking at the grey cement today, it's hard to imagine the full scope of what the wall meant. 20 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall. It takes a lot of imagination to picture what it was like and just how terrible it was.
A land of landscapes, with fascinating diversity, guaranteed to raise your pulse. Discover Germany's most beautiful spots. Each region is different, with its own character, its own beauty. Experience cultural landscapes rich in tradition and untouched nature. Germany in all seasons. Landscapes to experience and fall in love with. And which region of Germany is going to warm your heart? Take the plunge. Dive into the vibrant life of the cities. And discover Germany's younger side. Feel the pulse there. And you're there to see it. Try something new to your heart's content and in just your style. Chilling, German style. Body and soul in fantastic spas. Get in on the international design and contemporary art scene. Germany has never been as young, as in as right now. Leave the here and now behind and come along on a fascinating journey through time. Breathe in the enchanting history. Living traditions and artisanry at every turn in Germany. Centuries-old legends waiting to tell their stories. Be a witness to eras of splendor. Germany breathes history. And which century of German history will you visit next? The world is a welcome guest among friends, because there's always something to celebrate here, in rhythm with the 4 seasons. It all begins in spring with the Carnival. Events with international guests and international renown. Every city has its summer festivals to make friends and stay friends. And when autumn comes, it's Oktoberfest, Prost. And the Christmas markets with their seasonal charm warm hearts in the winter. You can experience it again and again. A country that loves to share its celebrations with friends. In Germany, you'll meet the world at international fairs and conferences. Trends, highlights, innovations, Here you can move markets and make key contacts. Congresses, trade shows,
Berlin ist ein Dorf. Ein großes Dorf. Und das ist auch schön so. Berlin ist anziehend, Berlin ist hip geworden.
Wenn man von dem alten Ost in den alten Westteil will und in der Regel im Stau steht, dann hat man einfach immer noch mal eine kleine Erinnerungsminute.
So von Los Angeles auf Deutschland geguckt, war Berlin ganz schnell die einzige Stadt, die Spaß gemacht hat.
Der erste Eindruck, den die Stadt einem Süddeutschen mitteilte, war die Abwesenheit des Schönheitssinns.
Das ist Berlin.
Und wenn die Bezahlung, und dann lassen Sie mich auch mal ausreden, wenn die Bezahlung, sind Sie von der Polizei?
Jawohl.
Das merke ich.
Geld her oder ich schieß los, ich bring euch Keks back auf den Friedhof.
Und dann gibt es so eine Berliner Mentalität eben, die an allem was rumzunölen hat. Sehr wesentlich.
Eigentlich lebe ich nicht in Berlin.
Auch wenn es mich weit wegzieht von Berlin. Das ist der Platz, wo ich immer irgendwann zurückkehren will.
Berlin ist ein Dorf. Ein großes Dorf. Und das ist auch schön so. Berlin ist anziehend, Berlin ist hip geworden.
Wenn man von dem alten Ost in den alten Westteil will und in der Regel im Stau steht, dann hat man einfach immer noch mal eine kleine Erinnerungsminute.
So von Los Angeles auf Deutschland geguckt, war Berlin ganz schnell die einzige Stadt, die Spaß gemacht hat.
Der erste Eindruck, den die Stadt einem Süddeutschen mitteilte, war die Abwesenheit des Schönheitssinns.
Das ist Berlin.
Und wenn die Bezahlung, und dann lassen Sie mich auch mal ausreden, wenn die Bezahlung, sind Sie von der Polizei?
Jawohl.
Das merke ich.
Geld her oder ich schieß los, ich bring euch Keks back auf den Friedhof.
Und dann gibt es so eine Berliner Mentalität eben, die an allem was rumzunölen hat. Sehr wesentlich.
Eigentlich lebe ich nicht in Berlin.
Auch wenn es mich weit wegzieht von Berlin. Das ist der Platz, wo ich immer irgendwann zurückkehren will.
2009. The 20th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall is being celebrated in Berlin with a year-long cultural festival. All of the diverse events on offer will focus on the story of Berlin's development since the fall of the wall. Many places in the city will become showcase examples of how Berlin has changed since 1989. The central info stairs at Potsdamer Platz provide the main source of information about the project. Alongside exhibitions, projections and events, the info stairs also offer a unique view of the surrounding area. In conjunction with the central info stairs at Potsdamer Platz, a traveling red info box will move through the city with its floating arrow pointing at various locations across the city, which are of particular relevance to the changes that have happened in Berlin over the last 2 decades. After Marlene-Dietrich-Platz, the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Museum Island took its turn as the arena for the 2009 anniversary year. Starting from the mobile info box, special tours through the unique collection of historic buildings were offered. Throughout the year, many more areas of the city will each get their chance to tell their own extraordinary stories. Lots of events happening all over Berlin during the year will tell the story of what happened 20 years ago. The year's highlights include the open-air exhibition Peaceful Revolution at Alexanderplatz and the Festival of Freedom at the Brandenburg Gate on the day of the 20th anniversary itself.
A boat trip across Wannsee Lake and enjoy the magnificent lakeland area in the south of Berlin. With the Berlin Welcome Card, you can reach Wannsee Lake easily by the S-Bahn and also take advantage of a discount with many boat trips providers. The trip starts at Wannsee Lake and takes you through the romantic park and cultural landscape between Berlin and Potsdam, the so-called Prussian Arcadia. On the way across Polesee Lake and Griebnitzsee Lake, you can drink in the harmony between nature and architecture that characterizes the elaboratorily designed cultural landscape. The area has been named an UNESCO World Heritage Site. The 19th century steam engine building at Klinika Lake was constructed to secure the water supply of the garden landscape of Babelsberg Park, which was laid out by Peter Joseph Lenné. For over 50 years, the Babelsberg Palace served as the residence of Prince William, the later Emperor William I. It was built according to plans by Karl Friedrich Schinkel. From here, Klinika Bridge comes into view. It connects the cities of Berlin and Potsdam over the Havel River. Up to 1986, it has been the scene of exchanges of secret agents between East and West. Klinika Palace, which was built in the style of an Italian villa, is set within what appears to be a charming southern landscape. On the banks of the Havel River lies the Sacred Church of the Redeemers, which was also modeled on Italian examples. The church includes a detached campanile. The charming Peacock Island is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The island's palace, a pleasure palace built in the style of a ruin, was commissioned by King William II. The island can only be reached by a ferry. At the end of your trip, you pass the Wannsee Lido with its enormous beach, which is over 1 kilometer long. On hot days, nearly 30,000 bathers jump into Wannsee Lake to cool down. After about 2 hours, the trip is over, and you have collected many extraordinary impressions of the marvelous landscape and architecture in the south of Berlin.
The Gendarmenmarkt in Berlin is one of the most beautiful squares in the capital. It is the site of the French and German cathedrals, as well as Berlin's concert hall. In the 18th century, the soldier King Frederick William I stationed a cuirassier regiment here called the Gendarmes. Now, however, the patrolling soldiers have been replaced by visitors from all over the world. The German cathedral is one of the most important sights to see in Berlin. The German Parliament exhibition about the history of democracy in Germany, entitled Wege, Irrwege, Umwege, is held there as well. The French cathedral is also rich in history. The tower was built as an addition to the French Friedrichstadt Church and now offers a viewing platform. You will also find the Huguenot Museum here. Since the original church was constructed in 1705 for religious refugees from France called the Huguenots. The concert hall was once a theater. Karl Friedrich Schinkel's classical construction set the scene for the world's premieres of the opera Der Freischütz and the Kleist play Penthesilea. Outstanding concerts are still enjoyed here today. To the delight of music lovers, the classical open-air performances transform the Gendarmenmarkt into an open-air theater every summer.
This one, and the TV tower, the Reichstag, and the Museum Island are of course counted in too. With the many landmarks and attractions Berlin has to offer, an organized sightseeing trip by bus is really worth it. The city can also be discovered by water or by air. Or you can do it the Berliner way. Go by foot and discover hidden gems that give the city its special charm on a stroll with a personal tour guide. Visit Berlin TV shows you the sights of Berlin.
Crossing the River Spree, the Oberbaumbrücke is Berlin's most beautiful bridge. The original bridge was built in the early 700s and was a small wooden structure. The tiny bridge was modified in 1879 to accommodate heavier traffic. As Berlin grew, however, the bridge was still not big enough for the city's swelling population. Plans began for a new bridge, which would open in 1896. The planners decided that it should accommodate not only pedestrians and road vehicles, but also the new subway, which then crossed the bridge for the first time in 1902. Today, right next to Oberbaumbrücke, many fine lofts and offices are situated, like the building of the Universal Music Company. Connecting the districts of Kreuzberg and Friedrichshain, car traffic speeds across the lower section of the bridge, while the subway line to Warschauer Straße takes the upper level.
Berlin from the waterside. Here you can even take a bath in the River Spree, in the famous bathing ship. Discover Berlin's sights from a breezy boat deck and marvel at some undiscovered romantic corner of the capital. In summer, the beach bars are popular venues for all sun worshippers.
The original centre of Old Berlin, the Nikolaiviertel, home to the city's oldest building. The Nikolai Church appeared in documents as early as 1264. Stroll down the narrow cobblestone roads with their small stores, manufactories and Gaststuben, the typical local restaurants. The fascinating Nikolaiviertel simply breathes history. The World Time Clock, one of the most popular spots at Alexanderplatz for both tourists and Berliners as well. The television tower at Alexanderplatz is one of the trademark symbols of Berlin. At 365 meters high, it quite literally towers over the city. This futuristic building is an amazing sight, especially at night. The rotating telecafe invites visitors to dine at a height of 200 meters, ideal for a spectacular view of the greater Berlin area.
Berlin's architecture is defined by the contrasts between historical buildings and contemporary architecture. Prussia's famous master buildings such as Schinkel, Schlüter and Knobelsdorf mark the city's landscape. Today, the futuristic buildings of famous architectures impress the visitors. The new parliament buildings are a prominent example for contemporary architecture. The historic square Gendarmenmarkt fascinates by its harmonic composition, and the futuristic Potsdamer Platz has become a new city center full of life. In the district Mitte, the monumental cathedral Berliner Dom is located, a mixture of old and new, a typical Berlin mixture.
am Pariser Platz, der guten Stube von Berlin. Und hier beginnen wir mit der Entdeckung der berühmten Adresse in Berlin unter den Linden. Hinter uns noch das Brandenburger Tor. Hier kam schon die königliche Familie nach Berlin hinein und ritt dann entlang der Linden hoch zum Berliner Stadtschloss. Umgekehrt raus in den Tiergarten. Heute sehen wir das wieder, was es schon mal gab am Pariser Platz vor dem Krieg. Nach so vielen Jahren der Teilung. Heute finden wir am Pariser Platz die französische Botschaft, die Botschaft der USA, das Adlon, die Akademie der Künste. Alles wieder aufgebaut im historisierenden Vorbild. Unter den Linden ist ganze 1475 Meter lang. Die Lindenbäume sind nach dem Krieg neu gepflanzt worden. Das sind ungarische Winterlinden, die wir hier sehen können. Der westliche Teil von Unter den Linden ist auch der geschäftliche Teil, der kommerzielle Teil. In wenigen Augenblicken überqueren wir die Friedrichstraße und erreichen damit die berühmte Ecke Friedrichstraße Unter den Linden. Beim Überqueren der Friedrichstraße muss man unbedingt hineinschauen, denn schon Heinrich Heine meinte damals, wer sich einen Begriff von der Unendlichkeit machen möchte, blicke nur in die Friedrichstraße. Unendlich auch in der Friedrichstraße die Einkaufsmöglichkeiten, zum Beispiel in der berühmten Boutique Galerie Lafayette oder im vornehmen Cartier 206 gebaut von Ian Pei. Hiermit erreichen wir den historischen Teil von Unter den Linden und sehen auf der linken Seite die Deutsche Staatsbibliothek des preußischen Kulturbesitzes. Die Geschichte Preußens wird wunderbar hier reflektiert durch König Friedrich II., durch ihn benannt und durch ihn gebaut, das Forum Fridericianum. Eine Verbindung zwischen Königtum, Kunst und Wissenschaften, also ein Schloss, damals genutzt von Prinz Heinrich, eine königliche Oper und eine königliche Bibliothek. Die Staatsoper ist auch heute noch sehr populär. In der Mitte des Platzes erinnert das Denkmal von Micha Uhlmann an die nationalsozialistische Bücherverbrennung am 10. Mai 1933 und die Gedenkstätte auf der linken Seite, die Neue Wache, erinnert an die Opfer von Kriege und Gewaltherrschaft. Recht feudal auf der linken Seite das älteste Gebäude von Unter den Linden, das Arsenal, das Zeughaus. Hier blicken wir auf norddeutschen Barock des 17. Jahrhunderts, gebaut von Johann Arnold Nering, das Deutsche Historische Museum heute. Die Schlossbrücke erinnert an Zeiten, als man im 19. Jahrhundert Unter den Linden zu einer triumphalen Straße ausbauen wollte, zur Erinnerung an seine Majestät Friedrich den Großen. Und hier endet dann auch die berühmte Adresse Unter den Linden am Schlossplatz.
Friedrichstraße is one of Berlin's most famous streets, and it has a fascinating history. A place where culture, history and business are fused into an exciting mix. In the 1920s, Friedrichstraße was at the heart of an internationally renowned theatre district. And today, the Friedrichstadtpalast, Admiralspalast and Distel Cabaret maintain that tradition of top-quality entertainment. The Weidendammer Brücke Bridge offers a stunning view of the River Spree and the wealth of restaurants along its banks. Friedrichstraße was always a place where history happened. Street fighting in the 1848 March Revolution, tearful farewells at Friedrichstraße station in the Berlin Wall era, Checkpoint Charlie, the old Allied crossing point, and the Wall Museum at the former border. The junction with the stately Unter den Linden Boulevard has gone down in Berlin's cultural history as the one-time location of popular bohemian and artists' cafes. The impressive Kulturkaufhaus Dussmann store, the elegant Galerie Lafayette, the Quartier 205 and 206, and the commanding international commercial centre have all helped re-establish Friedrichstraße as a world-class shopping boulevard and business location. The section of Friedrichstraße in the Kreuzberg district is decorated with a symbol of European unity. The Path of Visionaries has 27 displays presenting the thoughts of eminent Europeans.
Whoever wants to know what life looked like in a socialist part of Germany cannot go past a visit to the GDR Museum. With an exhibition space of 400 square meters, the museum recounts GDR history in a lively and interactive way. For example, we are television in a true to original GDR living room, replete with a carrot wall unit and a pass-through to the kitchen. Handling exhibits is not only allowed, it is absolutely encouraged. GDR Life's many facets are divided into sections to enable a vividly memorable experience. You'll find out about the wall and barbed wire as well as the ever-present Stasi. And whoever is curious to discover more won't be able to resist opening the drawers and rummaging through the cupboards. You'll have fun broadening your knowledge of the GDR, learning such things as the meaning of the word Winkelement. There are a great array of objects on display, lovingly compiled and arranged with attention to detail.
Die Exponate haben wir vorwiegend aus privater Hand.
The exhibits come predominantly from private hands, to a lesser extent from the friends and acquaintances of myself and my staff members. The collection in fact contains around 100,000 objects, and our friends just didn't have that many lying around at home. No, actually we got most of the everyday objects on display by making media appeals to people for donations. But of course there are also really fancy, unusual exhibits and unique examples, and those we had to buy, get on loan and such like. Of course, you also get to see a real Trabi, which takes you on your simulated drive through a prefabricated GDR housing estate. There are also many amusing and exciting things to see in the music, fashion and leisure time sections. So come and see the GDR's multifaceted and vibrant everyday life for yourself. You can even relive the legendary 1974 World Cup. To round off your visit, the museum shop offers a wide array of literature, souvenirs and relics, from stuffed animals to original GDR brand name products. The GDR Museum is situated on the Spree opposite the Berlin Cathedral and is open every day.
The memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe in the center of Berlin is Germany's central Holocaust memorial site, a place for remembrance and commemoration of 6 million victims. The memorial consists of the field of over 2,700 concrete slabs designed by architect Peter Eisenman. The memorial spreads over 19,000 square meters in the city center. Open to the public since 2005, it is regarded as disturbing and intimidating. The ground slopes unevenly. Visitors are encouraged to walk between the slabs. The memorial can be entered from all sides. It offers no prescribed path. Each stone slab is of unique shape and size. You can see each stone as a tribute to the uniqueness of every human being. The underground place of information holds the names of all known Jewish Holocaust victims obtained from the Jerusalem Memorial Yad Vashem. The place of information consists of exhibition space, lecture rooms and a bookstore. It is open daily from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. During the Cold War, Checkpoint Charlie was the only border crossing point for the Allies and foreigners. The checkpoint was dissolved after the fall of the wall in late 1989. Today, the rebuilt checkpoint is a popular tourist attraction. The House of Checkpoint Charlie Museum displays the history of the Berlin Wall in an exhibition.